Today on Uncommonly Good MTG, we're playing Gruul Ramp. Gruul meaning it's red and green cards, nice collection of those. And Ramp meaning that we are going to be putting out more mana sources than one per turn if we can so help it. So we can get ourselves into large creatures earlier in the game than they should be played. If that sounds interesting to you, then stay tuned to find out more. Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I'm your host, voted by my high school class to be most likely to grow up to be Slender Man, Dr. Yukon Socket. Yes, thank you. Film before a live studio audience. Thank you so much. Yukon Socket. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing to you a deck I found over on the Aether Hub, posted by Achilles. It's called Gruul Ramp. Gruul Ramp. Yeah, I mean, there's always good ramp decks out there. That's one of those big things like reanimation, whatever else. I don't know. Control. Yeah, I don't know. Control's a major type. But anyways, yeah, this is it's a ramp deck. We're playing some stuff. We got some interesting new cards, so let's go ahead and see what's going on. What we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the cards that are in this deck. We'll talk a little bit how decks should work, and then we're going to go out. We're going to crush some hopes and dreams. What do we got today? Let's start off with the ramp. We got Llanowar Elves. That's a mana dork. This one goes and gives you a lander, which you then pay 2 mana to turn into a land of your choice. Smuggler Surprise. Surprise! You could go get potentially a land. You mill 4 cards and you can put up to 2 creatures and or land cards from amongst them into your hand. And if you're desperate, you could go get lands. You could totally do that. Usually you want to use this for the what's technically it's a 6. You could put 2 creature cards from your hand into the battlefield, and we'll see how that works out later on. And lastly, for 2 whole mana, you could keep your creatures with power of 4 or greater, gain hexproof and indestructible to end the turn. So there you go. Hulking Raptor, at the beginning of your main phase, you get 2 green mana. So basically, this is a mana dork like the Llanowar Elf. So we got mana. There's 3 cards giving us mana. Overlord of the Hauntwoods, when it comes into the place, it gives you a mana source. Every time it attacks, it gives you another mana source. We got more mana. I think that's it for our mana sources. Oh, and here's another one. Cost you 5 to get her out, but she brings down the meteorites, and meteorites are treasure, essentially. But when it comes into play, it does 2 points of damage to your target. That's great, too. All right. Random encounter. So shuffle your library, mill 4 cards, then put each creature card milled this way into the battlefield. It gains haste. And at the beginning of your next end step, return those creatures to the owner's hands. So you get them to your hand after you're done, which is great. That's great. But you get to use it for a little bit, and then you have the ability to pay for it later on. Vaultborn Tyrant costs you 7 to put out. This guy's awesome because when he gets killed, you get a copy of it. Ghalta comes out. Whenever it enters, you put any number of creature cards from your hand into the battlefield. That's why it's kind of cool to do a random encounter first, where you got 6, and then Ghalta on the next turn to be able to then bring back all the stuff you pulled out with a random encounter. And lastly, Bahamut. For the first 2 turns it comes out, you destroy 1 target non-land permanent. These guys are destructive, and they're out for 4 turns. This creature deals damage equal to total mana value of permanent you control to each opponent. I've never seen that happen. I have never seen number 4 happen. It'd be super cool, but I've never seen it happen. Starting towns any color. This could go get you stuff from your library for something. I don't even know what you picked for Cavern of Souls, but if you're playing against blue, where they're going to potentially counter you, you'll know what to do. And then, yeah, there you go. Nice dual lands and regular lands mixed in. All right, that's it. What are we going to do? We're going to try to get out our mana sources and get buffed up as quickly as possible so we can start laying down the law. Hopefully, we'll be getting at least Ghalta and some other cool dudes in our hands, at which point at 6, we can drop out 2 guys from our hands, which would include Ghalta, which will allow us to put everything else out that we want to put out. And once we got that out, man, people will not know what to do. They'll be pooping their pants and running away. All right, that's it. Now, before we go out and do our damage, let's do as we do every night. Let's say our prayers and talk about what is best in life. Hands together. Dear Black King Volgaroth, who dwells within the dark chambers of my heart, please hear my prayers and grant your blessings as we attempt to crush our enemies, see them driven before us, and to hear the lamentations of the women. All right, put against CWB. Cultured wine bro. Get rid of propellers. Gosh dang, come on. No propellers, they're dumb. That is not great. I am not a fan. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and mulligan this. Keep it. And who are we going to get rid of here? How about super slow mana? That sounds like a good idea. Oh, I'm picking up a lot of mana. I'm glad that I tossed the mana. I do. All right, Smuggler surprise. I'd love to surprise somebody. I've got 4. This is going to take a while. There's no surprise for the Overlord there. All right, Hasty Hastersons. All right, come on, drop it like it's hot. Ooh, I'm getting way too many mana. That is a serious problem. All right, what do I got now? I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't have anything in my hand to pull, though, is the problem. Just more stupid mana. All right, this is bad where the shuffler is giving me too much mana. Guy seems to be playing it. What does he have in his hand that he's not playing? He's playing Gruul. I mean, it seems like Gruul aggro with that. To do this, I need what? 3 on top of 5 is 8. I need 8 mana. I'm building it like piece by piece. Nothing will be gone on its own in a second. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's just take it in with what we got. Next turn, we'll get our Overlord out. We'll have 8. We can go for a full Smuggler surprise. That'd be cool. Unless we whiff it totally, that would be bad. What's this guy doing? All right, so you've got 1 mana left. Keep it going. All right, here we go. 1 and 2, paying full 8 on it. That is just rough. Okay, come on, don't whiff it. Get something good. I saw at least a couple good guys in there. Ooh, on the battlefield, straight up, huh? Yoink, yoink. I touched him with an icky finger. I'm the buffest dragon there ever was. What was that? All right. Now we're looking totally smoke. Look at this. Look at our lineup, man. That is fantastic. Okay, so you get to bring back a couple of guys. You put a directly on the battlefield, one guy. That's usually Stickman. Where is he? That the Wildfire Wicker Folk. All right, you played it. You got 2 mana left. You have 3 mana left. Sorry. You can put her out. Just Bahamut's going to just slaughter her is a problem. How many am I doing next turn? I'm doing 12 and top of 9 is like 21. Plus I got a couple elves. I got 23. It's the exact number I need. If you put out one guy, you got to put out 2 guys to be able to stop me. What, are we just roping now? Is that the deal? Does CWB stand for I like to rope? Because I tell you, those letters don't line up with that at all. All right, there's 23. And we win! Suck it, sucker fish! Suck it, roper fish. Victory. Ramp up. All right, playing against Deceptive Choice. That's quite a name. Where am I going for here? Throwing that guy out, maybe? Cost me a little bit, but I got to get my mana ramping. I want to get up to 3. Nope, not you, you. That's what I want to do. We'll throw you out. Auto pay. Those landers are okay. They're just a little slow. I mean, that's the thing. They could be cool. I need 2 mana, so I'll have to pay 2 life. Go for it. Alright, so I need a 4th, which means I'll probably have to do the Overlord on this next turn. This guy's probably playing the Simulacrum Synthesizer. Really life gain. Interesting. Alright, there's 4, which means we can get a Hulking Raptor on the next turn. Which will allow us to play 6. Which is not going to get us the 7s we need for Vaultborn Tyrant. But it will get us into Smuggler Surprise. Alright, what I need to do is make sure Hulking Raptor doesn't go away. So I need Smuggler Surprise is what I need. Come on, man. Just leave him alone. He's got ward on him. He's not for you to touch. Just do what you're gonna do, man. Let me make my little terracotta dudes dance around. Like they own the place. Bump, 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 bump. I still got the 2 mana. See, that's what sucks about this deck. People are good at taking out the crutches you need to be able to jump up. So I needed him badly, and I didn't get him. We're doing it again, like an idiot. Now we're up to 5. Still got to get 1 more mana before we can get to 6. It's a ramp deck, but everything is so expensive. I'm down to 7. I'm getting ripped here. Not enough for Smuggler's Surprise. We'll have to go for this. 2 straight up. Knock that out. I don't have the mana for that guy. All right, we got some beef. Just sitting in the flying guys, as one does. Am I going to have to Bahamut out the Healer's Hawks? That's just ridiculous. Bahamut's a flying guy. That might be a thing to do, though. I'm going to pop this for... Oh, let's just go ahead and do it a red. Why not? Let's drag out 2. All right, picked up a little bit of life. That's all good. Llanowar Elves, sure. And should we send in some beef? I got 10. I didn't want to do the math. I didn't want to send in 2 guys and find out that I needed those 2 guys to block. All right, so Bahamut gets to do some cool stuff. Hopefully Bahamut survives. I'm betting that he's going to do some sort of an exile here. All right, you got lots of mana, lots of cards. Why don't you do something, Chubby Disco? You know, I first joined MTGA, we weren't allowed spaces at all. That's why my name is Dr. Suckit with capitalization and no space where it belongs. All right, what you doing, Smurfette? I just got to start nipping that life gain is the problem. He wants to draw cards. He's drawing. That's a lot. He's touching my stuff. So I'd take out Bahamut if I were you. There you go. Ooh, can I go crazy? This is roll the dice. Oh, I saw somebody good there. There we go. Do I have 2 mana left? I do. That was going to be glorious. Instead, we just have victory. All right, put against Captain JV. Singleton. Let's go get ourselves a lander. These guys are so expensive. We got a ramp. You gotta pay the full meal deal. I'm gonna go ahead and go for a... really a red? Red, I'll be able to do red way before I do anything else, right? I'm gonna get a green with that lander is what I can do. Green, green, green. Alright, we're good. Got another green right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need a 6 before we can start doing anything. Alright, come on, deck. Provide me with what I need. Don't be a dork. I'm going to go for the mana in this case, because as one does, right? That was hard. Alright, so I can go for random encounter. Or try to go for the Hulking Raptor. Hulking Raptor would be great, but I bet she's going to kill it. Ghalta is going to be fantastic if I get Ghalta out, but what would I need? That's 8, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hulking Raptor, let's try. Let's see if I can keep a Hulking Raptor out there. Because I'm guaranteed that's a bird in the hand rather than two in the bush kind of maneuver right here. If I was him, then I'd start holding the Hull Carver back so I can use that Death Touch. The Death Touch stuff. But that's unless he has direct creature kill in his hand. So I got Ward. Or Darth Vader. Why don't you go and roll up a magic turd. There you go. So if he goes after the Raptor, he's got to waste his turn doing so, is the question here. Is he forcing me? No, he's paying for it. Ah, we lost it. I guess it's just going to be a random encounter. Random encounter. Well, we did pick up some cool stuff. So we got more than enough to put out a Ghalta on the next turn, which is what we need. We're gonna be able to just lay it down. Hubert, you've been kind of quiet. Here's some Energon for you. Alright, he's just playing around with monkeys. He's not going to like what I'm about to do then. Ghalta's going to be so glorious. Problem is, everybody is not going to be fast. Board wipe would be really bad. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. What would be bad is if he kills one of my artifacts there. That would be bad. I'm going for it, man. Maybe I'll leave some guys in my hand. Yeah, get yourself a treasure token. You're going to love it. All right, all my guys are blowing smoke rings. All right, so is he going to pee his pants and he's just going to finish the game, or is he going to wipe the board? That's the big question right now. Because he's going to lose next turn unless he can wipe the board. And he pees his pants. All right, there we go. Winner, winner, victory dinner. All right, playing against Christian Rego. Do I have anything to go out with? Nah, I'm going to play this the stupid way. Let's go for... Oh, I always end up wanting red in long run, but I'm going to go green. But definitely, I can put out this on turn 3 if I have 2 green and something else. And there's this something else. Okay, Llanowar Elves, stay in play, please. Alright, I can afford to go red now. Alright, so we can get to 6. We can get Ghalta out and do some crazy stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5. We need 1 more mana before we can start. We can Smuggler surprise out Ghalta and Bahamuts. And Bahamuts aren't even... These guys aren't even legendary, which is insane. Alright, we're going to have to get the mana we want, but it's going to be really slow. Going for the second red. And no attacks. Okay, we just got to keep the Llanowar Elf alive. I only got 5 mana otherwise. Alright, I guess the 2 Bahamuts are going to go over very well. Yeah, coming out with 2 Bahamuts against this is just nasty. I feel bad for the guy. Alright, number 6. Here we go. Auto tap solutions, fine with me. Ghalta and Bahamut. And number 2. And you got next turn, we're going to be doing a bunch of that as well. Alright, I got 3 awesome dudes. They're going to totally smoke you. The question is, can you take care of it? Otherwise, you should just pee your pants and run away right now. Overlord's not going to do it, man. It's not going to happen. And we win! Winner, winner! Victory dinner! Alright, playing against jclapolli. Alright, that'd be good to drop it first. I'm not going to have the green mana for it, though, so we're just going to play this for the green. Alright, next turn we can put out a lander. I should put out the Fabled Passage is what I should have done. Right now I got to build towards like 6, and this one's 8. Ugh. Okay, I got a red in my hand, so that's fine. I just only need 2 reds. That's the most I ever need. Pull this one out, get another green. Alright, there's 4. Still, we're a long ways. I need 6. I'll have 5 here in a second. Hopefully I'll pick up another mana source here. Close enough. Don't be killing my guy or I'll be space pissed. Guys in the graveyard. Another guy, nothing in the graveyard. Okay, cool. Come on. And you are taking forever and it's killing me. Come on. All right, let's do 6. Fortunately, no haste. That is a problem. And no attacks. All right, we got a lot of great guys. Now we just got to sit around for a turn, blowing smoke rings out of our butt. While this guy plays land games. We're looking at up here. Lots of dumb stuff. The Brawler's good. Something tells me random encounters are going to come out on my next turn. You want to shoot him? You think you get into a fight with Ghalta, huh? We haven't even made it to this guy's attack phase yet. Come on, Smokey. Pass the rock, yo. My problem is I play fast decks like this. He's got the mana. That's good. Did he get a whole bunch of cool stuff? Nope. He just lost. Victory! Alright, so here we are with Gruul Ramp. Yeah, it was a great deck. It was really good. If I had to talk nasty about it, it was just that the ramping, which comes from Llanowar Elves and Hulking Raptor and Overlord, can be, if someone's going, knows what to do, they take those guys out, you lose it. You lose your momentum big time. And the rest of your deck, which is really expensive, is impossible to get to in time by the time you die. So this is a fragile ramp. That's what I got to say about it. If you play this deck, it teaches you how to play against this deck, which is, yeah, you take out... I just kill Llanowar Elves. They do not... they're too dangerous, man. Because anytime someone puts out a Llanowar Elf on turn 1, that means they can put down something that costs 3 mana on turn 2. And that is not right. And Hulking Raptors jump you from 4 to 6. Oh, that is bad. Funny part about this deck is that you really got 7, 8, 9, 6 still isn't good enough for a lot of what's going on here. So yeah, this is a tight deck. It's been made super tight. And if anything goes wrong on your ramping, you lose out big time. So, but saying that, I still did very well with this deck. I did very well. And I thought that it was fun and it was good to play. So let's break it down. Who was the MVP, the most valuable player? God, there's so many. The hard part here is the one I kept begging for all the time was Bahamut. And the reason why I wanted Bahamut was because I wanted that the ability to destroy one target non-land permanent and then have it happen again. But really, the thing that got it out more times than not was like Smuggler's Surprise. Because you really only build 6, at which point you could do it. Now, the other thing that got it out was Ghalta, but the only way I get Ghalta out was because of Smuggler's Surprise. So, and I was able to get up to 9 mana sometimes, sure. Overlord was great at putting stuff out. Random Encounter was fantastic. Everything in here is really good, but I'm going to give it to Smuggler's Surprise. I think Smuggler's Surprise was the MVP. I thought it had the best utility in the fact that you could go looking for land in case you were getting screwed some other ways, because you had to have the land. You had to. And but if as long as you can get things working regularly, yeah, this thing was fantastic. It was able to keep all your guys protected with hexproof and indestructible. It's going to be Smuggler Surprise. All the value here provided all the utility. Yeah, this particular card was probably the best one in the deck. All right, so congratulations, Smuggler Surprise. You are going to Disneyland. All right, number one, was this deck competitive? Yeah, I ended up getting a 70% with this deck. It was great. 70%. What did I have problems with? I had problems with aggro, because even though I'm playing ramp, the problem is that it took me too long to get up there. And any good aggro guy is going to start nailing your mana ramp guys, since this is relying heavily upon creature-based mana. And yeah, anybody, they could take you down and delay you too much. So red aggro was definitely a problem for this deck. Another guy I had a problem with, counter spells. Because he just waited till I tried to play like Smuggler Surprise. There was point counter spell. And then I was just, sitting there with my thumb up my butt. So, yeah, that wasn't good either. But against most decks, this does very well. Very well. Let's see. Number two, was this deck fun? Yeah, I had a good time with this deck. Because all these guys up here are fantastic when you throw them out. I usually don't like random. I don't like random. Anytime they make you flip a dice or, flip a coin or just roll a dice and you get whatever you get or whatever, I get kind of iffy about it. But I did like this one because most of the guys you have in this deck are pretty badass. What sucked is when you go, oh, I get a Hulking Raptor and a Llanowar Elf or something. That would suck. And then I'm like, oh, look, I get to attack with the Llanowar Elf. Yeah, all right. But it was still cool. I can say this did really well. There's another red card I played just today. I remember seeing it where I was making copies of stuff. I think I was another deck. That one was really good. The first time I was playing this deck, I thought this was that card. It was not. This is just, 100%. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just randomly pull some stuff and we'll attack with them. The other red card was super cool. Maybe we'll see it come into play sometime in the future. But yeah, it was fun. It was frustrating when it would peter out early. That's the only thing I didn't like. So I'm going to take it away for not fun, because this deck had a big potential for getting short-circuited in the early part, at which point by the time you get to mid-game, you're still not able to do anything, and that's not fun at all. All right, lastly, was it interesting? Yeah, I'm just trying to say, was this an interesting deck? Because the deal is, there was a time that I was playing Gruul ramps like this, pretty well. I've seen a number of them. Because you could just pretty much, it's the same basis, and it kind of comes up, and you could just pick what guys you want to play with and throw them out. You usually play with Ghalta. You always had a Vaultborn Tyrant in there. Bahamut's become, pretty much if you're doing a reanimation deck, Bahamut's in there. And in this case, it's a lot like reanimation because you could just pay for it straight up. But random encounter was interesting. I thought Roxanne was interesting. I thought Sami's Curiosity was a good way of doing a little bit of mana ramping. I like the landers. I like the fact you got 2 life. That wasn't bad. It was a little slow, but still not bad for guaranteed additional land kind of situation. So I would say it's interesting just in the fact that the new cards we're playing in here were kind of cool. But it wasn't the most interesting deck I've seen in a long time. So not high marks there. All right, so let's add this thing up. Was this deck competitive? Yeah. Was this deck fun? It could be. And was this deck interesting? To a certain degree. So I'm going to give this deck a straight A. I think it's a straight A deck. Because just the fun of putting the whole thing together, having it played, yeah, this was great. All right, so there you go. It's a straight A deck. And if you decide to play with this deck, I hope that you have as much fun with it as I did. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the underground secret headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. In the words of my people, be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes.